Hey, welcome back to Holo Health. Here at Holo Health, our mission is to become truly healthy. And true health consists of more than just the physical, or physical, mental, emotional, relational, spiritual, all of those buckets. But one of the most important aspects of our physical bucket is movement, is exercise. We are designed to move. And one of the most foundational pieces of movement that we've actually talked about here at Holo Health before is the squat. It's super functional. We do it when we sit, we do it when we stand back up from a chair. We're squatting all day, every day. And part of becoming truly healthy is learning how to move well. Not just movement for movement's sake, but meaningful movement, intentional movement, moving well. So I kind of wanted to look at an intricacy of a squat. When we are working out and we squat all the way down and come back up, we talked about the mechanics a little bit ago. But one thing that I have found over my years, almost a decade in this field, is there is a common flaw when it comes to our squat that actually isn't getting much publicity that I want to talk about. So when we squat here, we descend with our hips, we go all the way down, and the big thing is we externally rotate our toes or our feet, we send those knees out, we go all the way down, and we're in this position. But what happens is, if we have poor ankle mobility or if we have a poor movement pattern, what we do is we compensate for our ankle mobility by externally rotating our legs, sending our knees out, and say, oh, that squat looks good. Which is what I've actually done for about 5 years, but over time, I've actually developed a movement insecurity in my system because I was doing it wrong, and that's what I want to talk about. So when I squat, what I used to do is I used to squat and I used to put all the pressure on the outside of my toes, almost lifting the inside of my feet because my ankle mobility wasn't very good because I wanted to keep my knees out. What happens is when you do that, you lose all internal torque. And why that's important is because when we squat, we want to generate as much power as we can. So when we stand up, but we don't create internal torque by placing this big toe down, we now are putting our hip in a poor movement pattern, resulting in an improper squat form. So if I look at my hand here, if that's just my foot, what I want to think about is if my foot is a tripod, equally placing your weight on all three areas of your foot. So your number one toe, your fifth toe, and your heel. So when you descend into that squat, you have that good tripod position, because now with all three positions firmly planted on the ground, you can create torque. You can twist, externally rotate those legs by still keeping in contact with all three positions on your foot, allowing your hips to generate the most power. So I know that kind of went into the weeds a little bit, but my challenge to you is when you squat, don't just squat just to squat, but do it meaningfully, do it intentionally, and maybe find that tripod position in your squat, and you can actually reduce some physical injuries and limitations down the road. We'll see you next time.